Good morning, my dear students. Today, in economics, we are going to start a new chapter, that is globalization in the Indian economy. Children, globalization refers to the unification of domestic economy with world economy. Globalization is such a process through which national companies expand out of their political boundaries. Most regions of the world are getting increasingly interconnected. While this interconnectedness across countries has many dimensions, such as cultural, political, social, and economic. Children, in this chapter, we are going to look at globalization in a more limited sense. It defines globalization as the integration between countries through foreign trade and foreign investment by multinational corporations. Children, as a consumer in today's world, some of us have a wide choices of goods and services before us. The latest models of digital cameras, mobile phones, and televisions made by the leading manufacturers of the world are within our reach. Every season, new models of automobiles can be seen on the Indian roads. Gone are the days when Ambassador and the Fiat were the only cars in the Indian roads. Today, Indians are buying cars produced by nearly all the top companies in the world. A similar explosion of the brand can be seen for many other goods, from shirts to LCD, LED, mobile phones, etc. Children, such wide ranging choice of goods in our market is relatively a recent phenomena. You would not have found such a wide variety of goods in India market even 2 decades back. In a matter of years, our market have been transformed. How do we understand these rapid transformation? What are the factors that are bringing about these changes? And how are these changes affecting the lives of the people? Children, we shall dwell all these questions in this chapter. Children, today in this chapter, we are going to study about production across countries, then interlinking production across countries, and foreign trade and integration of markets. Children, now, what is globalization? It is a process of rapid integration or interconnection between countries. There is one more way through which countries are becoming closer, and that is movement of people between countries. People usually move from one country to another in search of job or better education. This is also a result of globalization. Children, globalization increases economic openness and economic dependence between countries. Free flow of product and services, free flow of capital and consolidated financial market, free flow of labor, free flow of technology, and spread of knowledge, etc. between various nations is included in various dimensions of globalization. Until the mid of 20th century, production was organized within countries. Even in our country, most of the production was in the hands of the government. Raw materials, foodstuffs, and finished product crossed countries. But with the entry of MNCs, that is multinational corporations, the whole world market has changed. The MNC is a company that owns or controls production in more than one country. For example, Samsung, Onida, Pepsi, etc. Companies cross the native country boundary in search of raw material, cheap labor, and the other resources in order to reduce the production cost and earn maximum profits. Sometimes such businesses will look for the government policies that look after their interest. MNC is a company that owns or controls the production in more than one nation. These companies produce and market goods and services all over the world. Children, this production process is divided into parts and spread out across the globe as per the resources availability. MNCs set up offices and factories for the production in regions where they can get cheap labor and other resources. This is done so that the cost of production is low and the MNCs can earn greater profits. Let's consider with the example. Children, a large MNC producing industrial equipment designs its products in research centers in the United States and then has the component manufactured in China. These are then shipped to Mexico and Eastern Europe where the products are assembled and the finished products are sold all over the world. Meanwhile, the company's customer care is carried out through the call service centers located in India. Children, in this example, the MNC is not only selling its finished product globally, but more important, the goods and services are produced globally. As a result, production is organized in increasing complex way. The production process is divided into small parts and spread across the globe. Children, in this example, China provides the advantage of being a cheap manufacturing location. Mexico and Eastern Europe are useful for their closeness to the markets in the US and Europe. India has highly skilled engineers who can understand the technical aspects of production. It has also educated English speaking youth who can provide customer care services. And all this probably can mean 50 to 60% cost saving for the MNC. Now, interlinking production across countries. Children, globalization increases economic openness and economic dependence between countries. Free flow of product and services, flow of capital, consolidated financial market, flow of labor, technology, and spread of knowledge, etc., between various nations is included in various dimensions of a globalization. In general, MNCs set up production where it is close to the markets, where there is skilled and unskilled labor available at low cost, and where the availability of other factors of production is assured. In addition, MNCs might look for the government policies that look after their interest. Having assured themselves of these conditions, MNCs set up factories and offices for production. The money that is spent to buy assets such as land, building, machines, and other equipment is called investment. Investment made by MNCs is called foreign investment. Any investment is made with the hope that these assets will earn profit. At times, MNCs set up production jointly with some of the local companies of these countries. The benefit of the local companies of such joint production is twofold. First, MNCs can provide money for additional investments like buying new machines for the faster production. Second, MNCs might bring with them the latest technology for the production. But the most common route for the MNC investment is to buy up the local companies and then to expand production. MNCs with huge wealth can quite easily do so. Just take one example, children. Cargill Foods, a very large American MNC, has bought over smaller Indian companies such as Parak Food. Parak Foods had built a large marketing network in the various parts of India, where its brand was well reputed. Also, Parak Foods had four oil refineries whose control has now shifted to Cargill. Cargill is now the largest producer of edible oil in India with a capacity of making 5 million pouches daily. Children, there is another way in which MNCs control production. Large MNCs in developed countries place orders for production with the small producers. Garments, footwear, sports items are examples of industries where production is carried out by a large number of small producers around the world. The products are supplied to the MNCs, which then sell these under their own brand names to the customers. These large MNCs have tremendous power to determine price, quality, delivery, and labor conditions for these distant producers. Thus, we see that there are variety of ways in which the MNCs are spreading their production and interacting with the local producers in various countries across the globe. By setting up partnership with the local companies, by using the local companies for supplies, by closely competing with the local companies or buying them up, MNCs are exerting a strong influence on production at these distant locations. As a result, production in these widely dispersed locations is getting interlinked. Now, foreign trade and integration of markets. Foreign trade is a trade between different countries of the world. It is also known as international trade. Children, for a long time, foreign trade has been the main channel connecting countries. In history, we have studied about the trade routes connecting India and South Asia to the markets both in the East and the West, and the extensive trade that took place along these routes. Children, we also know that it was trading interest which attracted various trading companies such as East India Company to India. To put it simply, foreign trade creates an opportunity for the producers to reach beyond the domestic market. That is, markets of their own countries. Producers can sell their produce not only in the market located within the country but can also compete in the markets located in the countries of the world. Similarly, for the buyers, import of goods produced in another country is one way of expanding the choice of goods beyond what is domestically produced. In general, with the opening of trade, goods travel from one market to another. Choice of goods in the market rises. Price of similar goods in a two market tend to become equal, and the producers in the two countries now closely compete against each other even though they are separated by thousands of miles. Foreign trade thus results in the connecting the market or integration of market in different countries. That's all for today, children. Thank you and have a nice day.